Good morning to everybody. Now I am going to tell you a criminal story. It's about a case of Natasha Campus. This is one of the most shocking stories in Austria and in all Europe. About this case, there is a book written by Natasha which had a commercial success. And also there is 1396, a movie based on real events. That is such a sad movie to watch with our family and friends. Well, about a context, she was born in Vienna, and when she was 10 years old, she went out to her school but never come back. Her family members know that she didn't get along with her mother, so at the first they all believed that Natasha had had such a strong argument with her mother, and for that reason she had run away from home. However, the days passed, and the parents were worried, so they decided to go into debt with credit cards. To start with a search, they put up posters in several cities. They didn't lose hope of finding either a clue or a witness to help them, but it was absurd. The police and her family were more and more frustrated because the months passed and they didn't find the girl. But 6 months later, there was a witness who said that he had seen Natasha's kidnapping because a man put her in an old white car. One of the principal suspects was a man. His name was Priklopil, who had a white car with all the characteristics described by the witness. But he denied being a criminal, and he had a concise story about the day of the events. So the police believed that he wasn't lying, and he seemed like a law-abiding citizen and wasn't guilty of the crime. Neither witnesses nor culprits were found, so the case had been forgotten for 8 years. When suddenly one day at daybreak, a woman appeared at a police station asking for help, saying that her name was Natasha, who with a stroke of luck had escaped from her kidnapper. Immediately contacted Natasha's parents, and they admitted that the person who was there was her daughter. Everyone understood the real crime story. Well, the person that they were investigating at the first was the kidnapper. The man had put her in the basement of her house, where Natasha was kidnapped for 8 years. During that time, he beat her, tortured, and abused her. If the police had acted faster, the kidnapper might have been sentenced for a life in prison. Well, when the policemen went to his house to capture him, they were surprised that he had committed suicide. It was unacceptable. The police should have arrested him. From my point of view, this story could have ended differently. And for that, I have two hypotheses. The first is that if the police had inspected the suspect's house in 1998, Natasha wouldn't have spent 8 years kidnapped. I am sure of that way Natasha would now have a normal life. The second option is that after Natasha escaped from the house, the police had to be quickly, because if the criminal hadn't committed suicide, he would be in prison. That reminds me that there are many cases in which the participation of the police is so important, but there are many injustices in the world. And I am sure that if the authorities were more efficient in their work, kidnapping like Natasha's would have been avoided. What makes me happy is that this woman escaped, and I wish she had a good life and could overcome everything. And that's it.